a HD camera, we can see that it is also surface-only installation with an integrated tamper switch as well. This can trigger a warning if somebody's trying to take the intercom off the wall to gain access to the building, for example. It can output to, say, a security system to trigger an alarm. It comes with pictograms as well that are akin to, if anyone has ever bought a Verso from us before, they're quite similar to the ones on there. They're just above where the buttons are, if we look here.
They're good for the DDA compliance. So if you're doing any kind of installations where DDA is built into the tender, you want to obviously signal to the end user that the door's open, or you're in a call, or the fact that you're just ringing and nobody's answering. It's a good way to interact with the end user, so that you know something is happening at the intercom.
Yeah, this can even be the case for someone who maybe isn't hard of hearing, if they've not really encountered one of these before. It's IP65 rated, so it can withstand most weather conditions, and it's IK7 as well, which makes it highly vandal resistant. It comes with 1 or 2 buttons, and this is out of the box. It ships as a 2-button variant, and it has 1 larger button in the box. And so this middle line here between the 2 buttons would essentially disappear if you want it to be a 1-button model instead of 2. We can see here as well the optional RFID reader. You can have quite a range of standards on this, and this allows it to integrate into access control systems. Obviously, rather than just pressing the button to have someone let you in, you swipe your fob and you're let into the building. So as I mentioned, it's designed to fill the gap of a low-priced video intercom, and its RRP is £200 below the cheapest Vario with a camera, which before this came along was the cheapest video intercom from 2N. We can see it's a very sleek black design with a brushed effect on the outer frame as well. And it has full compatibility with the My2N mobile video service.
Yeah, well, one key point there is obviously, as you say, Gavin, it's an entry point video intercom for 2N. So marketplaces that we're looking to address is the sort of domestic market, small offices, home offices, or just the very basic office complex where they need a video intercom coming through to an IP phone, or full integration into a PBX. It has all the same standards of SIP that we have in the larger intercoms, but it's just at that lower entry level. Therefore, it opens marketplaces that we've never been able to address with the 2N intercoms. So it's a really good openers for us now, and obviously it's built to all the high standards that we've seen in the sort of advanced intercoms that we have.
Thank you, Scott. And we can see here that for the rest of July, you can actually obtain the Helios IP Base for £340 if you are one of our resellers. This is a no strings attached offer. You can order as many or as few as you want, and there's no commitment to do anything for us. You simply buy the intercom as you would any other. There are available, however, any demos or training that you might need. These can be delivered by Scott.
Yes. So obviously, as a new intercom or a new user to 2N, then we want to get you through that learning curve as quickly as possible. So what we're offering as part of this promotion is me to either remotely go through training with you, helping you set this up and effectively get the most out of the system. If you've got a large sales team, some large projects, something of that nature, then clearly we're quite happy to do some face-to-face training with you, your team, your resellers, anybody basically, just to speed up the learning curve and help you get more of these units out into the marketplace.
I can see we've had a question from Louis about whether it can integrate with your customer CCTV system. Do you want to
So the standard video that comes out of the system is based on SIP. So it integrates into a telephony system, and you'll get full video streaming as part of the course, as part of the call. But as well as that, there is the JPEG streaming that's built into it. It's a HTTP stream, so as long as your software or your video recorder, your VMS platform can take a JPEG stream via HTTP, then you'll be able to integrate it into your CCTV system. Obviously there's so many different variants out there that I can't sort of say yes, it'll do this one, that one, or that one. It's important to say that there is video streaming capability. Okay,
thank you for that.
So as we've sort of moved through the base IP base features and sort of functions, we now look at it as how we use it as part of an access control system, because it's a question that we've always been asked. Is we've got an intercom, we're letting people in and out of the door. Why can't we build it into a more sophisticated access control system? So what we've done last year, we basically launched the Access Commander system to give us the sorry, just the slide moved on a little bit too quickly there for me. So we launched the Access Commander software to give us time and attendance. But really, in a basic access control solution, we just want to be able to open the door without being in a call. And that's where building the card reader into the IP base will allow you to do that. Based on 125 kilohertz or 13.5 megahertz, we've got the two sort of standards of card readers that you can have built into it, one or the other, of course. And then we program the card and the fob details into the intercom. And then obviously once the card or the fob is swiped in front of the intercom, we can open the door immediately. We've got a couple of inputs, we've got a couple of outputs on the system, so we can go to a maglock using sort of volt-free relay contacts, or we've got 12-volt output so that we can go to a normal sort of door strike. We've got an input in there that we can use for a sort of push to exit, or it could be a set of door contacts if you want to make sure that the door has been closed once we've granted access. So there's two or three different ways to set it up, but it can be used now really as a sort of standalone access system. And as I sort of mentioned, sorry about the mess up with the slides, but yeah, we're challenged with software problems this morning, little bugs in there. So we can build it into our time and attendance software, Access Commander. In its core sort of setup, it's going to do bulk configuration of the intercoms. We also have standalone access units that it will do configuration of those units, and we have our indoor touch answering unit that will do bulk configuration on there. So, you know, if you've got 10, 20, 30 units, rather than going through each one and manually setting everything up, we can set up a sort of common configuration of cards, of telephone numbers, of contacts and codes and things of that nature, and send it out to one device. We can send it out to many or to all of those devices. It's a very user-friendly interface. If you're used to sort of Google design, then you'll see that it's very intuitive. But the important thing about Access Commander is it does allow third-party integration. So there's an API that's on our wiki site. We have an excellent wiki site that gives you all the information about our products, but on there is the API information so that you can very quickly and easily integrate it into your own access unit and your own access solutions.
I can't actually think of anything I haven't been able to find on that wiki site in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be honest with you, as a sort of business development person, you know, very often I get very technical people coming on to me asking me questions, and the wiki site actually probably answers 90% of those questions that I field. So it gives you information about setting things up, about integration with other devices, troubleshooting. There's manuals on there, there's training information on there, everything is on the wiki site. So it really is worth sort of either bookmarking that or making sure that the ProView team have sent you those details.
We've had a question here from a Seam asking how many cards we can program to the unit. Am I right in saying that that's 2,000?
It is. So the contact book in our intercoms is 2,000 users. We've set it at 2,000 just purely because it's a number. If we had to go above that, then you know, software-wise, we're capable of doing it. Obviously, we'd need to look at the commercial case as to sort of how quick and how easy we could roll that out for you. But 2,000 is the maximum amount of cards or fobs that we can store in it today.
Yeah, thank you. It doesn't actually come with any of these cards or fobs because as there is a choice as to which frequency card reader you can go with, it wouldn't make sense to then ship the base with 10 these fobs.
No, because
we
have some customers that have 100 employees, some that have 500, some that only have 20. So you buy as many as you require, and the system's flexible enough that if they get lost or damaged, then obviously it's easy just to add new cards in the future. And there is a facility for temporary visitors as well. So reception can very quickly, easily add and delete using add and minus cards. So it's a very flexible system.
Yeah, and these don't cost a lot. It's not much more than a couple of pounds, is it?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yeah.
One of the third-party systems that 2N have actually put a lot of development work into is Milestone. I'm not going to talk your ear off about Milestone. It's just a case of letting you know that for those areas where Milestone is in use, the Access Commander software can integrate very well into that. I mean, it can do the most simple things as well as the most advanced surveillance needs, recording, exporting, things like that.
Yeah, we did a lot of integration. So and sorry to repeat about the wiki, but you know, if you follow the instructions on the wiki as to how to integrate it, it'll cut through the learning curve pretty quickly. But you can swipe a card at the IP base, and then that's going to flick up a pop-up screen on Milestone, and take a picture of the camera, show the credentials of the person, and then register it into their time and attendance and full logging system. So if you haven't got the IP base that's got the HD camera in there, that'd be great for the security guys to see who's coming through the door. And then when you're trying to do your traceability, going back in time, then you'll have all of those details. So it is a substantial integration that we've done with Milestone. But just to pick up on the points you said there is you know, there are so many different systems out there. We've chosen Milestone as one of the UK's most popular VMS platforms, but you know, I'm sure we can integrate it into all the others. It's just that's the one that we chose.
Yeah. We've been asked, well, first of all, where is the wiki? We have the URL for it. It's simply wiki.2n.cz, yes. With wiki in the place of the 3 W's. And we will be emailing out the recording of this session as well. We missed the first couple of minutes, but I think we got most of what has been said. The information regarding the entry and exit timing is very easily available, whether that's through the access log in the intercom itself or through the Access Commander software. Obviously, if you have more than a few of these intercoms, we'd recommend using the Access Commander software rather than downloading it from each individual intercom one at a time.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, there's a full log in the intercom through the web browser, but that's a totally sort of standalone scenario. So you would either have to build some script to extract that into your own software, or you're obviously going to use Access Commander that will give you full time and attendance logging, that will give you, at the click of the button, you can see who's present and who's not. So it really depends on what level of integration and what level of data that you're actually looking to extract from the system.
Going back to the Access Commander, there is actually a free demo of this available online. You can simply put in the URL into it works in all browsers, doesn't it? Am I right in thinking?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
We use Firefox here. It works fine in Firefox, and I imagine the same will be true for Chrome and Internet Explorer as well. And the software itself, if you want to put it on your own server, is free to download if you have one unit and one user. And I should clarify, when I say user, that is actually employee with an RFID.
A fob or a card,
basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Any further units or users would need to be licensed, but obviously if you give us a call, we can give you pricing on those licenses and help you out as best we can. It's worth mentioning as well, for the online demo, there's no sign up required, there's no need to put in any details. You simply go to the URL, choose whether you want to use it as a manager, an admin, or a plain user, and then it just, away you go. And
yes, yeah, absolutely. It's a very nice way of actually experiencing the software without installing it. You get full access to all areas. You can play around setting up zones, subzones, adding devices, taking away devices, users, setting up your profiles, and even if you want to apply rules for different zones and different users, that can all be configured. It is an active system, so as you make changes, when you come back to it, it will be exactly the same position as long as somebody else hasn't been on there in the meantime and played with it, because it is an active system. So.
We've had a question about the licensing for when you download the actual software and what it means when it says +5 users or +25 devices.
So the software is basically free. So you download the software, you install it onto your PC. It runs in a virtual environment, so that's a key point for everybody to understand. And then our intercoms, our access units, they are classed as a device. So if you have got 3 IP base and 2 access units, then you would need a license for 5 devices. Across those devices, if you've got let's say 50 employees, and they all have a fob or a card, then you need 25 user license, and because you've got 50 employees, then you need 2 of those licenses. Is that clear enough? Yes. Yeah.
I believe so. Yes. Yeah. So for every extra 5 licenses you have, you need a 5 device license, and for every 25 people you have in the building, you need another 25 user license.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And those are the numbers that we've sort of, through experience, we've bulked them up into those licenses. So the licenses are not free. I'll just go back to what I said. The software is free of charge. It's the licenses that you pay for, and that way it's totally scalable. So whether you need a small system, a medium system, whether it grows in 2 years' time, all of a sudden you've got another 100 employees, then it's totally scalable through the licenses. But the licenses are chargeable. The actual software itself is free of charge. And that's why we give you one device and one user free of charge, so that, you know, if you're really just a sort of home user or a small office or something of that nature, you can install it all totally free of charge.
Thank you very much, Scott. This is the point where we take any further questions. If anyone does have any questions for us, feel free to post them in the chat window and we'll do our best to answer those. Although if you do have any questions afterwards, you have both our email addresses here, mine at ProView and then there's Scott's at 2N as well. And just to recap that URL as well for the demo of the Access Commander software.
Yeah, I think actually as we've gone through it, we've pretty much answered most of the questions. But do you want to just flick through the chat box
just
and
in
just
case
see
there's
if
any
we've got anything else?
we've
Yeah.
missed.
There's a question there about IP phones, which is probably you, Gavin. But is there an IP base? Is there? I think was. Yeah, is there any recommended IP phone to use with the IP base?
Well, we often, in fact, 2N also suggest the Grandstream video phones. We also do supply these. So if you're looking for just a desk phone option, then I would say that that is the best option to go with. There's also the Indoor Touch if you're wanting something wall-mounted and a bit nicer looking. This comes direct from 2N. And is developed in-house. So I would say it is a much better solution for working with, well, all of 2N's intercoms really, rather than just the IP base. Is there a broader setup or implementation video somewhere? I'm not sure if there is something available, but
there is on the sort of 2N video channel. YouTube. If you've gone to YouTube, there's a configuration video there. Obviously, on the wiki site that we've just mentioned, there's free training that's given monthly on how to set that up. Or Nick, if you use TeamViewer or some kind of remote sharing of your laptop, then I'm quite happy to do that with you. Just literally take you through the setup of the intercom, how to implement it, and we can do that quite quickly, really, this week, if that helps.
I'm very happy to arrange that for you.
Yeah.
The license charges, I can send those over to you this afternoon. It is two prices essentially, one for the user license, one for the device license. So I can certainly get those over to you.
Somebody was asking about the security relay. Shall I do that, or do you want to do this?
Yes, the security relay. This is it's a small device that allows for. Are you going to scroll up?
I was trying to scroll back to the screen. Does it not do it? Does it not do it?
It has to go.
I was going to do that while you were talking.
Here we are. So yeah, the security relay that we can see in the bottom left here. This is a device that the IP base speaks to tell that to open the door instead of the IP base having that responsibility. Because if someone were to come along and take the intercom off the wall, for example, then they could potentially get to the contacts and open the door. This security relay goes somewhere inside the building and listens out for a code from the intercom. Obviously, by hot wiring the wires, you will not be able to send that code, so the door will stay locked. This security relay works with all 2N units, be it the access unit, the base, the force, anything.
Yeah, I think it's key to point out that any intercom that sits outside, any door entry system that sits outside, to actually activate the door lock, it's typically sending a 12-volt signal. And so if your criminals are clever enough, they can basically sort of just put a 12-volt signal straight down that line and open the door. So it's a part of any intercom system or entry system. So we developed the security relay to protect the door mechanism. Obviously we've got the tamper switch on there as well. So from a security point of view, a physical security point of view, we can protect the lock and we can protect the covers, which protects obviously your network from having an endpoint that's at the edge of the field. So good question. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much. We've had a question as well. Do we have recommended settings for Cisco Call Manager? There is a page for that on the wiki.
Same again, yeah, Teflon shoulder it to the wiki, but yeah, there is a sort of, in the wiki section, there's a how to connect to third-party devices, and in there's the various different Call Manager, sort of version 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, there's all the different versions. There's screenshots from the IP intercom as to what settings you need to set up, and then the screen settings from Cisco, and it gives you all of that information. So we would normally say to somebody, there's the sort of hub of your knowledge, follow those screenshots and you will be good. If you then still come across problems, then that's when ProView's excellent technical support will kick in, and we will obviously fully assist ProView in making sure that we've got those settings right for you.
Thank you, Scott. We've been asked what our part number is for the IP base unit. We've made this so it matches two ends. So if you have a pen to hand, I can give you that. It's 9156 111 Charlie Bravo.
Okay, I mean that's the key part of this promotion at the moment is there's no special part numbers. Anybody that's on this webinar, the offer's available to anybody and at any time during the next few months, isn't it?
It's until the end of this month.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so it's a new unit, so we want to take advantage of sort of new to the marketplace, and we want people to roll out as many as you possibly can. So it's a good promotion, and we obviously thank ProView for putting that promotion on the table for you. And I say we will assist you with training and setup. ProView will give you a very aggressive price on the unit.
Thank you, and I think we have one final one. Are there any fingerprint access units being developed?
Okay, so good timing, good question. It's not actually sort of relevant to the IP base intercom, but we have the IP Verso that is available, and we have the access units that are available. Access unit is a standalone unit for access control. It has no intercom built into it, it has no video or audio. It is literally just an access unit for opening and closing doors and barriers and pedestrian entrances and things of that nature. Those two units now have a fingerprint module or reader available for them. It's only just been launched, so it's very new to the marketplace. ProView have just obviously sort of added that to the portfolio, and that will therefore fully integrate into Access Commander as well. So if that's something that you're interested in the scenario that we have here on the screen, you would have your IP base that would do your audio and video, and then next to it you would have a standalone access unit with the fingerprint reader built into it. Because they're both IP devices, they will all seamlessly integrate into the solution that we offer you. If you were preferring the Verso intercom, then that will be built into it as a module. So yes, we can do fingerprint readers. It is just on a different unit, or it's a different scenario to what we've shown you today.
Thank you very much for that. Another final question. We've been asked what the cost of the unit will be after the promotion. It's difficult to nail it down really, because we base it on the euro exchange rate, as that's what we used to purchase from 2N. I can tell you though that before the promotion started it was around the £390 mark rather than £340.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of the questions.
I believe so.
Okay.
Thank you everyone for attending, and have a great rest of the day.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.